I'm Lily Madwhip, and I've been here before. Not here, but like this, what's the word? Scenario, where I'm sitting in the back seat of a car that Felix is behind the wheel of, looking at me from the rearview mirror. This time he's got on glasses, but they don't hide his weasel eyes. The last time I was here, I made Felix crash the car into a tree. That wasn't fun. I don't like Felix, so making him crash into a tree doesn't sound half bad, but I'd prefer not being in the car for once when it crashes. Why am I always in car crashes? I check my seatbelt. You know, I say to Felix, we've been here before. His expression doesn't change. Does he know what I can do? He must. That's his thing, knowing stuff I don't tell him. It's kind of a pain. Because Felix has Raziel's totem, he knows anything I try to keep secret. Of course, the only way to prevent him knowing what it is to not make it a secret. But then he knows it then too. Ugh, I just can't win. What I can do is make things happen just by saying that they're gonna happen. I can't normally do that. Pasture gives me the ability to see things before they happen, but it requires being near someone else with a totem to be able to make things happen. It's like a signal boost I get from having another totem nearby. That's how I made Felix crash last time. And I guess that's how I'm gonna have to make him crash this time. Dr. Clay?
You don't want to do this, Lily.
He's right. I don't want to do this. I'd really rather not be in another car accident. Last time, I broke some ribs and thought I was gonna die. I ended up lying on the floor in a burning house. That reminds me, when I get out of this, I should buy myself some glow-in-the-dark stickers to put on my bedroom ceiling. I can't believe I forgot to get some. I keep wasting my allowance on art stuff. Not that it's a waste, I just really want some glow-in-the-dark stickers. What was I about to say? Oh, I was gonna make him crash. Only I don't want to now.
Don't you remember, Lily?
Felix asks as he looks back out the front of the car. We're on some back road I've never seen before. There's woods all around. I bet it would smell like pine if I rolled down my window. Felix continues.
You were so miserable before.
Was I? That sounds right. My life before was pretty lousy. Do you know what a louse is? That's like a lonely lice. Lice is actually plural. Louse is one. I imagine when someone is lousy, that means they got a lonely little louse in their hair. Or maybe it's that they're lonely, like a single louse. I felt kind of lonely. Like a little sad louse living in a head full of hair.
You don't want my son Joseph to die. That's not the kind of person you are.
I don't want anyone to die, of course. Not Joseph, not my mother. But my mother...
She lived her life. You know that's only fair. And your father seems happier.
Dad does seem happier. He used to be so miserable when it was just Roger dead. Wait. That's not right. Hey, you're doing that thing! Just like I can make things happen just by saying it when I'm near someone else with a totem, Weasel-faced Felix can make people believe things just by saying them when he's in close proximity. He's just messing with my thoughts, that rat.
Lily, come on, don't be silly.
He looks at me in the rearview mirror again. His eyes look black, like all black.
I'm not doing anything but talking to you. Remember, Joseph deserves to live, and there's nothing to be afraid of. I wasn't really going to hurt you.
Well, that's a relief. I was honestly fearful for my life. Heck, I was gonna do something stupid and make him crash the car. Not that I wanted to. We both could die. I don't want anyone to die, especially not me. I mean, especially not Joseph. I want Joseph to live. Wait, what? Dang it, he's still doing it! I cover my ears and hum to myself to keep Felix's voice out of my brain. I gotta get my own thoughts back. Lollipop, lollipop, ooh, lolly, lollipop. Felix is saying something, but I can't hear him. He starts shouting it. It sounds something like, you don't want to cover ears. I can't hear you, Dr. Clay, I yell. I gotta think quick. Oh, by the way, be careful. Your rental car engine is going to explode. Smooth. And just like that, the front of the car turns into a fireball. Felix screams and shakes his steering wheel like he's trying to strangle it. We weave back and forth on the road, and for a moment, I think we're gonna crash again after all. Instead, Felix slams on the brakes, throwing him forward and banging his head on the top of the steering wheel. I feel the seatbelt cut off the air to my lungs, but nothing cracks, thank goodness. I glance out the window. We've ended up sideways in the middle of the road. Felix is laying on the steering wheel, making the horn go. I need a moment to get my breath back, but just when I feel a bit of calm, the hood of the car crashes back down from the sky. I didn't even realize it was blown completely off. Holy cow. Unbuckling fast, I peek around the driver's seat. Felix is still laying on the horn like it's a pillow. There's blood coming out of his nose. I hope it got broke. I knew a kid once, Tommy Jacobs, who tried to do a trick on his skateboard and ended up taking a nosedive across the school parking lot. He broke his nose and swallowed 2 of his teeth. I wonder how the tooth fairy got those. I think if I were the tooth fairy and some kid swallowed teeth, I'd be like, nope, those are gone. Even if they eventually came back out, I wouldn't want them. I get out of the car. We're in the middle of the woods and the sun is almost set. The smart thing to do would be to head back the way we came, pick up pasture along the way, and keep going until I find another road or person to help me. I look over at the burning car with Felix still laying slumped in the front seat. Part of me says I should try to get him out, but you know what? I'm just gonna ignore that part of me, because that's how people die in horror movies. Instead, I start running down the road hoping I'm going the right way. The car did spin around after all. Eventually, I have to catch my breath. When I look back, the car's right there, like maybe a couple 100 yards away, still burning. I really need to get longer legs. Normally I can run pretty good, but the seatbelt knocked the air out of my lungs. Suddenly, the driver's side door opens up with a loud creak and Felix flops out. He still seems disoriented, but I don't think that's gonna last. I can't be out here on the road. He's an adult and has longer legs, and he's also really skinny, so he probably does a lot of running. The woods are dark. This is good because it means I can hide from him pretty easily. It's also bad because I'm scared of dark woods. I'm pretty sure dark woods are where clowns are born. On the other hand, I'm more scared of a bloody-faced weasel man with mind powers and a desire to kill me. Before Felix gets up, I scramble into the bushes. They're itchy and there's prickers on them. Something snags on my shirt and I feel it rip and dig into my arm. I don't cry. I just pull on it till it comes loose, but I think there's a thorn sticking in my skin. Maybe I can loop around and come out further down the road. Maybe I can stick close to the road and let Felix pass by and then reach the main road after him and let him stay ahead of me. Maybe... The bushes rustle.
Lily?
Oh, crap. Felix is in the woods. I drop to the ground and crawl between 2 trees. It smells probably like spiders. I've never smelled spiders before, but I wager that there's probably hundreds of spiders crawling around here that I can't see and it probably smells like them. Oh, dang it, why did I think that? I cover my mouth with my hand to keep from saying anything by accident. I tend to do that when I'm panicking. Felix calls out to me.
Lily, I know you're in here. It's amazing, really, this gift. It's almost like a radar. More like a sonar, I guess. I knew you were in the forest because you didn't want me to know. Just like how I know you're staying low because you don't want me to know it.
From out of the darkness, his arms reach down, fingers wrap around my neck. He starts squeezing, closing off my windpipe. My head feels stuffy and swollen like it's full of blood and I can't breathe. He's choking me. He's killing me. He's not there. I'm alone between my 2 trees, and I gasp for air. It was something that didn't happen yet. My vision is still red from the feeling of all my blood getting trapped in my head. But I can breathe at least, and I can speak. Felix, you're going to trip and hit your head on a rock, I whisper. I hear him stumble and sputter, followed by a crash of branches and a sharp thwack like someone banging a cement duck against a porch stoop. My Aunt Hazel had a cement duck that she used for a doorstop, and I remember when I was little playing with it and trying to make it fly. It fell and broke on the front porch stoop. Felix's head makes the same sound when it hits the rock. He yells out a swear jar word I won't even say here. I'm too shaken up to really care because he was seriously close and would have strangled me in just a few seconds. I wonder if he's dead. Did I just kill him? He answers my question with a groan.
Oh, you little bridge.
I don't know why he calls me a bridge. He says it like it's an insult. Rather than wait for him to come to his senses, I scurry away. My best bet is to kind of move in a nonsense pattern. I guess it's not really a pattern at all. Okay, move randomly, but away. Not so random that I wind up running into Felix like a dummy. So a not so random nonsense pattern that's not a pattern. Actually, I've spent so much time thinking about how I'm being random that I've completely lost track of where I am. The sun is gone, and the woods are dark. Somewhere off a ways, I hear Felix crunching leaves, probably sitting up from hitting his head. Maybe I gave him a concussion. That would be awesome.
You want to know something, Lily?
He calls out. No, I don't want to know something. I just want to go home, you walnut. He keeps talking.
There's a secret here. A big one. One you don't even realize you were told.
I think about how grown-ups like to talk in riddles when they can just stop beating around bushes and tell people things. Speaking of beating around bushes, I shove my way through the thick bushes and nearly poke my eye out on a tree branch. The last thing I need now is to lose an eye. Well, one of the last things. There are other things I'd rather lose last. Like my life. Felix calls out again, farther away this time. I'm relieved to realize I'm getting away. But he'll realize I'm getting farther away now too. He calls out louder.
You don't want to know the secret that you were already told? The secret so massive that you can run through these woods all night and all day tomorrow, and all the next and the one after that, and you'll still not get away from it?
Don't say nothing, Lily. Don't say nothing. Just remind yourself you don't care. He's a wacko. Rustling in the darkness spooks me. I shriek, but try to catch it in my mouth with my hands. It gets out anyway. It's just a squirrel or something, though. If it had been slightly bigger, I might have peed a little. Just a little. The shriek that escaped must have reached Felix's ears because I hear crunching of needles and leaves from his shoes as he moves in my direction. I hug the ground again. It probably thinks I'm real touchy-feely by now. Mom always said Dad wasn't really touchy-feely because he doesn't hug all that much. I wish the ground was my dad. I still haven't seen any clowns, so it must not be mating season.
I never thought I was capable of doing something like this, you know.
Felix is close again. I think he's on the other side of that row of bushes I shoved through.
I've never hurt anyone. It has always been my life's mission to help people, but you showed me what it feels like to lose something precious to you. In the same instant you told me about what it was like to lose your mother, I felt the pain of losing Joseph. To a fire, Lily. Can you imagine what it would be like to witness that? Because I can, thanks to you. I've dreamed it the past several nights.
Why did I ever think that talking to the weasel was a good idea? Maybe I really am crazy. Or just stupid. I'd rather be crazy. Stupid people can be sane but still do stupid things. Crazy people can be smart and they could still do smart things even if they do it because they're crazy and it seems stupid. Felix laughs.
Your brain is such a jumbled mess. It almost hurts to try to root through a second's worth of your thoughts, you know that?
I'm lying on the forest floor, hugging the leaves and the dirt, listening to this Looney Tune insult my brain when he's the one calling people bridges for some reason. I flip over and look up towards the sky, but there's nothing to see but treetops. I think that's called a canopy. We learned that word last year in 5th grade. It was on a spelling test. C-A-N-O-P-Y. Canopy. There's lights coming through the canopy. Stars, maybe? No, they're getting brighter. Oh crap, is it a falling airplane? Am I about to get crushed out of nowhere by a jet out of the sky? The lights are getting brighter, flooding my vision. No, there are cars' headlights. What's a car doing up there in the forest canopy? The lights vanish, leaving a reminder of them burned into my eyes. It takes a minute to be able to see anything again. Everything's kind of red and hazy. It was another thing that hasn't happened yet. What was it? Was I staring down the headlights of a car? Felix has not stopped talking this entire time. I zoned out and wasn't listening, but I can hear him closer now.
It's funny, I'm actually looking forward to something. I can't remember the last time I ever had something to look forward to. I've lived this life, I think, and always did things because they made sense. But I never looked forward to anything, really. Or maybe that's the nature of this new world. Maybe I don't remember feeling that way because I didn't exist like this before.
Yep, he's still nuts. On the other hand, maybe he's trying to talk me to death. I don't know, is that possible? All the crazy nonsense he's spewing, I don't understand any of it. Maybe that's the idea. Maybe my eyes are supposed to roll so far back in my head that I can look down my own brain and just die.
Do you want to know what it is I'm looking forward to, Lily?
Branches crack as he moves toward me. I sit up and scramble in the other direction. There's a hint of moonlight reflecting off something through the bushes ahead, and I realize I found the road again. At the same time, Felix's footsteps shuffle like he's maneuvering around a tree and starts coming towards me fast and with determination. Oh crud, I think he sees the road too. His voice is right behind me. I turn and look and he's right there.
I'm looking forward to watching those lovely brown eyes of yours as I choke the life out of you.
He hisses like a snake, even sticking his tongue out a little bit. Time to get up and sprint, Lily. I'm not a fast runner, but I got what my PE teacher calls a lot of stamina. That means I can run for a long time. But it's only good if I run slow. This is not a slow run. This is a sprint run. This is a terror run. There's a man behind me with broken glasses and blood running down his forehead, and he's going to kill me run. After my rest on the ground, I got my lungs back and they're ready for a good breathing session, but they're still not going to last for more than a couple minutes. Felix is no slouch either. He's wobbly from hitting his head on the rock, but he's got longer legs and he's a grown-up. Just trotting after me at an easy pace, he's catching up. I scream in the hopes that someone might hear me. The road is empty and dark except for the moon. The forest is emptier and darker. All I hear is my own breathing, my shoes on the road, and Felix is panting and shoes clopping as he catches up.
I'm sorry, Lily, he yells.
No, you're not!
I have to do this for Joseph.
He's just seconds behind me. I don't look back because that's when you trip and then the person behind you is on top of you. I can't think. I scream again. If you don't stop, you're gonna get killed! The light appears again, faster than when I was laying on the forest floor. It quickly fills my vision and all I see is a yellowish-white, blinding light. It's a car, coming fast around a curve. I duck into a little ball, curling up, putting my hands on my head so I look like a pillbug. Pillbugs know what they're doing. It's funny how pillbugs are kind of gross when they're out on their own, but when they curl up into a little ball, they're adorable. I wonder if I look adorable curled up in a pillbug ball on the car's headlights in the middle of the dark road. The answer must be yes, because I hear the car's tires screech as it tries to avoid hitting me. Or its brakes. I guess it's the screeching of the car's brakes on the tires. Anyways, they're screeching and I feel the wind of the car as it blows past me, probably by inches. Like if you took a ruler and tried to measure how close the car was to hitting me, well, you'd probably die because you'd be in the way of the car. But I wouldn't because the car was inches away. Felix is in the way of the car. I don't see it because I'm curled up in my pillbug ball, but I hear the loud metal bang as the car meets Felix. He makes a sound like whoop, and then goes silent, and a moment later I hear something land in the bushes just off the side of the road. I peek out of my pillbug ball. The car has spun completely around and is facing back the way it came from. Felix is nowhere in sight. Oh no, wait, there's his legs sticking up from a bush like something out of a cartoon. Felix? I call out to him. Are you dead? He doesn't respond. That could be a yes. Jeez, I think I just killed him. He totally deserved it. But it makes my tummy gurgle unhappily to think that I did it again. I killed Felix just like I killed...
Roger?
What? That's who steps out of the car. My dead brother Roger. He doesn't look dead though. He's got on a sleeveless t-shirt that says Gravedigger and has a purple cartoon skull on it. And pants with so many rips and holes in them that they're more like 30% pants. His hair's gotten longer, I think. And good lord, has he grown a beard? More like a puff of a beard. It's clearly him, though.
By Crom, you have royally screwed the pooch here, Lily.
He says as if we're at home and I'd spilled cereal and milk all over the kitchen floor. Roger! I want to run and hug him, so I do. He holds me back at arm's length. He smells like peppercorn and dryer sheets. How are you not dead? I thought you were still dead.
This is my new gig, ass face.
Same old Roger. You drive cars down empty forest roads at night? He snorts.
No, I'm keeping tabs on you for Hecate until the end. I told you I switched pantheons.
I remember. He was dead and talking to me through a kid he had possessed on the school bus at the time. But you don't really forget stuff like that. But why? She's trying to tear my life apart. She changed the past, killed Mom, started all of this.
No, she didn't, dummy.
Roger glances over at Felix's legs sticking out of the bushes.
You made all this.
I stare at him, because I'm really hoping he explains what the hell is going on around here. It would be nice to not play Scooby-Doo mysteries trying to figure out who to trust, what to do, how to fight Hecate, why there's a weird boy living in the library who knows Pasher.
Obviously, I can't tell you everything because I don't know everything. I'm not some mystical Tibetan monk now with infinite knowledge, but here's what I can tell you. And can I just say that it's hilarious that I'm having to explain it to you, of all people, because Mom and Dad always thought you were the smart one?
Can you tell me in the car? I ask. I don't want to be here with Felix dead in the bushes over there. What if he comes back to life and bites into our fleshy heads to get our brains? I've seen movies. This is what always happens. The bad guy is never fully dead, or if he is, he comes back anyway. Roger looks over at dead Felix's legs again and shrugs.
Hop in, Squirt.
I climb in the back of Roger's car. The inside of it smells like Roger's room used to smell, like barbecue potato chips that got left laying out with the bag open and overcooked steakums. Some things never change. I wonder if the inside of Roger's coffin smells like this too. Roger climbs in, starts the car, and backs up carefully. Who knew he could drive?
You're honestly really lucky I came after you when I did,
he says, not looking at me.
I had been rather enjoying the view of Destiny Winter's bedroom from the treehouse Dad is building in the backyard, and then I got summoned in to go in and get you out of this fix.
There's no treehouse in the backyard, I tell him. I don't see what's so special about seeing in someone else's bedroom either.
This is the real world, moron. You knew Dad was working on something back there.
I blink. Roger gives me another smirk before turning back around and driving away from Felix's lovely new home in the woods.
This is what I'm talking about, Lily. You screwing the pooch. Hecate throws you into the void to test you, and what do? You make the shitty version of reality where you're even more miserable, and then we're just about to get yourself killed.
I'm still in the veil? I feel someone's pulled a chain in the dark depths of my brain, and there's a light bulb flickering to life. It takes me a moment to realize we're not going anywhere. Roger has pulled the car over to the side of the road. He's looking in the rearview mirror at me, and I feel a bit of similarity to just a half hour ago or so when it was Felix looking at me from a different rearview mirror. I'm still churning this new information through my brain. "Why have we stopped?" I ask. He gestures out the window. I see a familiar-looking doll laying in the high grass just off the embankment. "Pasher!" Pasher doesn't respond. "Pasher?" I say his name again. He remains quiet.
"You're starting to understand."
He leans across the front and opens the glove compartment, pulling out a tube of lip balm.
"Nice, wild cherry."
Roger always used to get chapped lips because he was always licking them. Mom said he had some sort of dry mouth disorder. They probably spent more money on lip balm than on ripped shirts and jeans. Roger holds the tube up.
"You see, Squirt, in the void, you control the horizontal and the vertical. It's like one of your artsy-fartsy painting canvases. You make what you want. I want a wild cherry lip moisturizer and voila! There it is. Your friendly neighborhood psycho Felix was practically spelling it out for you."
I'm still in the veil? My brain feels tumble-dried. Roger sighs heavily.
"You're denser than a bag of bricks."
So, when Hecate threw me into the nothing, she expected this?
Of course she did. This was your test, to see if you're worthy.
I stare at Pasher lying quietly out in the grass. I think his name again. Nothing. Worthy of what?
Succession.
I don't know what a succession is. Sounds kind of gross. Roger nods towards the window.
"Are you going to grab the doll or not?"
I look at Pasher. Is it the real Pasher?
Now you're getting it.
Roger smiles at me with a genuine-looking smile for the first time in forever. He turns back toward the front of the car, shifts it into D, and starts going down the road again.
Succession means you take over. Hecate is waiting for you to prove you have what it takes to take the wheel. Think of it like this. Hecate is holding the reins to a horse called the Veil, and is waiting for you to prove you know how to ride before she hands him over to you. Get it?
I don't get it. Sure, I lie.
So let's get you home,
he says as the car finally reached the main road again. There are no other cars out. Maybe I stopped making them exist.
And then you've got one more chance to make this place somewhere you want to live. Stop killing Mom and Dad. Stop torturing yourself with people wanting to murder or hurt you. Hecate's not going to give the veil to someone who makes it into something out of Hellraiser.
I don't want to live in the Veil. I want to go home. Real home. I feel like crying for real, but I don't do it because that always just made Roger angry. I think he could tell by looking at me that I'm keeping my tears in because he glares at me in the mirror.
Listen, assface. I took the steel to get you set on the right path and to keep me out of that lousy pine box stuck in my rotting corpse shell until who knows when. Don't blow this for me.
Pasher, are you out there? Can you hear me through the walls of the Veil? If I haven't been with you all this time, do you know that I'm missing? Ono said that time works different here. What if I find a way out only to discover that decades have gone by, and my parents have given me up as a runaway or kidnapped? Will the angels give ownership of my totem to someone else like they must have done to Ambrose? How long has he been trapped here that all those centuries have gone by out in the real world? I need to get out of here.
Hey there kids, it's me, Mrcreepypasta, and I just want to tell you thank you so much for watching, or listening to, or however you happen to get it, tonight's story. If you take a look in the description down below, you're going to find the link back to the author of tonight's story on Reddit, or on creepypasta.com, or their respective website. We don't just get stories from one particular place, we get them from all over, which means that if you have a story you want me to read, you can always send it over to me at mrcreepypasta@gmail.com. And especially if you have a book that you want to be able to promote to go along with that, send me over a link to that as well, because I'm always down to help promote authors and their books, like you'll see at the beginning of some of the videos. And a very special thank you to everybody on that Patreon, patreon.com/Mrcreepypasta, especially Ariel Torres, Jordan Alexander Sanchez, Ken Lando Higuchi, Brianna Van Tine-Janzen, Chompski, TheRedOakShieldVirus, Sindee Barney, Asia, G. Weevil 3, Diana Kraus, Stephen VanHuss, Tristain Pelton, Nico, kaeo, TheGingerBroz, Dante Rowe, Raphael Rodriguez, Don Meulmeester, Eliminator 86, Steampunk Sinner, Kaleb Dougal, Sky Harbor, The Homeless Bird 93, Gabrielle Undefined, Bobby Carmen, Liam Newman, Aaron Stormcrow, Bobby Jean Torgan, Dr. Strawberry, The Wormhole, Barbara Macedo, and Vic. Thank you guys so much, and if anyone would like to join them on that list, head over to patreon.com/Mrcreepypasta. Here's hoping that you guys are loving the horror as much as I am. And sweet dreams.